I've often said that discipline is the bridge between dreams and achievement, and it truly is the missing link for most people. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals. But not everyone has the discipline to cross that bridge from where they are to where they want to be. You see, motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when the excitement fades. It's the quiet force that transforms a wish into a result. Without discipline, desire is just a fantasy. But with discipline, even the smallest dream can become inevitable. When I was a young man working for my mentor, I learned quickly that the problem wasn't that I didn't have big enough dreams. It was that I lacked the daily consistency to make them real. I wanted wealth. I wanted freedom. But I also wanted to sleep in. I wanted success, but I also wanted comfort. And those two don't mix. My mentor once said to me, "If you don't discipline yourself, life will discipline you." That hit me hard, because I realized the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. You either suffer the pain of effort today or the pain of disappointment tomorrow. There's no escaping pain, only choosing which one you want. Discipline starts small. It's not about running a marathon on day one. It's about keeping promises to yourself, finishing the book you started, waking up when you said you would, saving when it's inconvenient, exercising when you don't feel like it. Because every time you do what you said you would, you build trust with yourself. And that trust turns into confidence. Discipline is nothing more than self-trust practiced daily. I remember when I first started journaling my goals and habits. It felt tedious at first, writing down what I did, where I failed, what I needed to fix. But soon, I saw patterns. I saw that discipline was not an act of punishment. It was an act of alignment. The journal became my accountability partner. It told me the truth when no one else would. And every week, I reviewed it and adjusted my behavior. Slowly, my actions started to match my intentions, and my life began to compound in a better direction. Most people overestimate the power of motivation and underestimate the power of routine. Motivation is seasonal. It comes and goes. But discipline is eternal. It shows up whether you feel like it or not. You can't rely on emotion. You must rely on structure. Create habits that pull you toward your goals automatically. Reading, saving, exercising, learning. Because once your habits take over, discipline becomes effortless. So ask yourself tonight, what bridges have you left unbuilt because you lack discipline? What dreams have stayed on paper because you couldn't stay consistent? You can change that. Start with one promise, one habit, one act of self-control. Do it daily, track it, and finish what you start. Because the truth is simple, discipline doesn't restrict your freedom, it builds it. The more disciplined you become, the freer you are to live life on your own terms. When I was a young man working as a clerk, I used to think that the answer to my problems was simply more money. I believed if I could just get a raise, all my troubles would disappear. But here's what I learned: wages will make you a living, but profits will make you a fortune. Working harder at your job will make you a good employee, but working harder on yourself, on your ideas, and on your investments, that's what makes you free. See, the poor trade time for money, while the wise trade money for freedom. One is a cycle, the other, a system. The average person spends their entire life earning, spending, and starting over every month, paycheck in, paycheck out. But the wealthy, they play a different game. They understand that money is a tool, not a master. They don't work for it forever, they train it to work for them. When I first learned this, it was a revelation. I realized that if I kept using all my energy earning and none of it investing, I'd grow tired long before my money ever did. But if I learned to make my money tired on my behalf, then one day I could rest. Now, how does one begin this shift? You start small. When I began, I didn't have much to save, but I made it a rule: 10% of every dollar I earned was not mine to touch. That money was my seed, and seeds are meant to be planted, not consumed. Over time, those seeds became little trees, investments, assets, opportunities. And soon those trees bore fruit, and that fruit created more seeds. That's compounding, not just of money, but of discipline. The trick isn't how much you start with, but that you start and stay consistent. Every dollar you earn has two destinies: to serve your appetite or your future. The poor feed their appetite, the wise feed their future. The poor say, I'll start saving when I earn more. The wise say, I'll earn more because I've started saving. It's a reversal of thinking. If your money disappears as fast as it comes in, it means you're still a worker for money, not yet a master of it. And remember, you don't need a fortune to begin, you need a decision. You don't need perfect timing, you need persistent effort. You don't need luck, you need leverage. Because when your money starts to work, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't call in sick, and it doesn't complain. It simply multiplies. So here's the challenge. Stop working only for money and start letting money work for you. Save a portion. Invest it wisely. Reinvest the returns. And one day, you'll discover that while you're resting, your money is still awake, still working, still growing. And that, my friends, is when you stop surviving and start living free. The marketplace has no sympathy for struggle. It only rewards solutions. It doesn't pay for how hard you work, how long you've suffered, or how much you need the money. It pays for the value you bring, the problems you solve, and the usefulness you offer to others. That's the truth most people resist. They say, but I've been working so hard, as if effort alone should be enough. No effort is admirable, but results are rewarded. The world is moved by contribution, not complaints. I learned this lesson the hard way when I was young and broke. I used to think the marketplace was unfair, that some people just got lucky or had advantages I didn't. My mentor said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. That one sentence changed my life. Because the day you stop asking for life to be fair and start asking how you can become more valuable, that's the day everything begins to turn. The marketplace doesn't respond to your tears, it responds to your transformation. So, what's the real secret? It's to shift your focus from your problems to the problems you can solve for others. Every business, every great fortune, every breakthrough is born from solving someone's pain. The more significant the problem, the greater the potential reward. If you want to earn more, serve more. If you want to be promoted, solve the problems your boss is too busy or too afraid to tackle. If you want to be wealthy, identify a problem the world complains about and find a better way to fix it. The market will thank you in cash. I remember a time I met a young man struggling in sales. He said, I've been trying for months and no one's buying. I asked, what problem do your customers think you solve? He went quiet. He'd never thought of it that way. He was focused on his quota, not his customer's pain. The moment he learned to listen, really listen, to what people needed and tailored his pitch to solve that, his income tripled in 90 days. Not because the world changed, but because he did. See, the marketplace doesn't care what you need. It only cares what you can give. That may sound cold, but it's liberating once you understand it. It means your future isn't limited by luck or background. It's limited only by your ability to create value. And value comes from growth, learning, observation, and action. So start paying attention. Every complaint you hear is a business idea waiting to be built. Every inefficiency you see is an opportunity waiting to be improved. Every time someone says, I wish someone would fix that, the universe is whispering, why not you? Build a reputation not for needing help, but for offering it. Because when you become the person others depend on for solutions, the marketplace will depend on you, and it will reward you beyond what you ever thought possible. Your income will seldom exceed your level of personal development. That's not a theory, that's a law. You see, we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. The marketplace doesn't give you what you need. It gives you what you've become qualified to receive. You can't expect to earn like a leader while thinking like a laborer, or to live like the rich while operating with the habits of the broke. The truth is, your wallet is a reflection of your wisdom, your income a mirror of your improvement. I remember a time when I was working hard but earning little. I thought maybe I just needed more hours, more hustle, more activity. But then my mentor said something that shook me awake. He said, "You don't get paid by the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to that hour." That changed everything, because suddenly I realized the real question wasn't, how can I make more money? But how can I make myself worth more to the marketplace? See, personal development is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you start, poor, uneducated, inexperienced. Growth is available to everyone. You can read the books the wealthy read. You can listen to the same teachings, attend the same seminars, practice the same disciplines. And every new idea, every new habit, every bit of wisdom you add to your character increases your value in ways no paycheck ever could. You don't have to chase success. You simply have to become the kind of person success is attracted to. That's why I often say work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you keep working on your job, you'll make a living. But if you work on yourself, you'll make a fortune. The moment you decide that your growth is the real goal, not just your income, you set yourself free. You stop waiting for opportunities and start becoming the kind of person who creates them. You stop wishing for wealth and start building the foundation that can hold it. Let me tell you, growth is not automatic. You don't just wake up one day with wisdom. You have to pursue it intentionally, daily, relentlessly. Read the books. Take notes. Reflect on what's working in your life and what isn't. Every 90 days, ask yourself, have I grown? Am I wiser, stronger, more disciplined than before? Because when you grow, everything around you grows, your relationships, your business, your influence, your income. The truth is, money doesn't solve problems. It only magnifies character. So before you ask for more, make sure you're becoming more. Because success is something you attract by the person you become. You don't need to wish for a better economy or a higher salary. You just need to keep improving yourself until the marketplace has no choice but to reward your growth. Character is the invisible currency that determines your visible wealth. You can have skills, talent, even opportunities. But if people can't trust you, they won't invest in you, follow you, or recommend you. The marketplace runs on trust, not talent. And trust, my friend, is built through character, through small, consistent acts of discipline and integrity. Success, after all, is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. I remember early in my career, I was broken but ambitious. I thought if I just worked harder, someone would notice. But working hard isn't enough if people can't depend on you. One day, my mentor said, "Don't just do what's expected, do more than what's required." That single lesson changed my entire relationship with success. From then on, I made it my mission to always deliver more value than what I was paid for. If someone paid me for an hour, I gave them two in quality. If I made a promise, I kept it, not because it was convenient, but because it built the kind of reputation money couldn't buy. You see, discipline is not just about getting things done. It's about becoming the kind of person who can be trusted to do what they say. And when you practice that discipline long enough, it compounds, just like money does. Integrity pays dividends in ways you can't measure immediately, but over time it becomes your most valuable asset. The marketplace notices who shows up early, who delivers on time, who takes responsibility instead of making excuses. Those habits form your brand, and in a world full of shortcuts, reliability is gold. Now, let's talk about something most people overlook, keeping promises to yourself. It's easy to make commitments to others, but the real test of character is whether you honor the ones you make privately. When you say you'll wake up early, study, save, or work on that goal, and you follow through, you build inner strength. You begin to trust yourself. And the moment you trust yourself, others start trusting you too. That's the secret link between personal integrity and professional success. I once met a young man who told me, "I just can't get people to take me seriously." I said, "Then become someone who takes themselves seriously." The marketplace mirrors who you are, not who you pretend to be. If you operate with honesty, humility, and excellence, your reputation will arrive long before you do. People will open doors for you that money can't unlock, because character is the silent partner in every great fortune. So never underestimate the compounding power of discipline and integrity. Those two together build credibility, and credibility builds wealth. In the end, your name becomes your brand, and your brand becomes your fortune. Make sure it stands for something strong, because character, once earned, becomes the most profitable currency you'll ever hold. Every person, no matter where they come from, will pay one of two prices in life: the price of discipline or the price of regret. There's no escaping it. You either suffer now in small, consistent doses, or you suffer later in large, unbearable ones. Discipline asks for your time, your focus, and your effort. Regret demands your peace, your confidence, and your future. And between those two, discipline will always be the cheaper investment. I remember when I was young and broke, sitting in a small apartment with unpaid bills on the table and dreams far too big for my pockets. I told myself that one day I'd change everything, but I also realized that one day wasn't on the calendar. The truth hit me: success doesn't start when it's convenient. It starts when it's necessary. And what was necessary was discipline, not motivation, not luck, not another excuse. Discipline is doing what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. The pain of discipline is measured in moments: waking up early, saying no to distractions, saving instead of spending, studying when you're tired, exercising when you'd rather rest. It's uncomfortable, yes. But regret lasts far longer. Regret shows up years later when you realize you had the opportunity, the time and the talent, but not the consistency. It whispers, you could have been more. That's a kind of pain no success can erase later. So the wise choose to suffer briefly through discipline, instead of endlessly through regret. Let me tell you something. Every successful person you admire has mastered this trade-off. They pay the small price daily, while others postpone it indefinitely. The person who reads a little every morning compounds knowledge. The one who saves a portion of every paycheck compounds wealth. The one who plans their week compounds focus. These tiny disciplines don't seem to matter in the moment, but over time they separate the wealthy from the worried. When I started to apply discipline, I realized it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Each day I kept my word to myself. I grew stronger inside. And as I built that muscle of self-control, I began to trust myself more. That's the foundation of freedom, the ability to depend on yourself to do what must be done. Because freedom isn't earned through ease, it's built through effort. Every time you're tempted to quit, remind yourself, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So pay the smaller price today. Read the book, save the money, skip the distractions. Do the hard thing now so that life becomes easier later. Remember, discipline doesn't take from you, it builds you. It's the seed that grows into the freedom you've been dreaming about. Pay the price today, and tomorrow will pay you interest. Wealth is not something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. See, most people spend their whole lives trying to do more work, more projects, more hustle. But doing more is not the same as becoming more. You can't outwork a poor mindset. You can't outrun your habits, and you certainly can't earn the limits you place on yourself. The truth is, success doesn't respond to activity. It responds to identity. It's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you do it. When I first began my journey, I worked hard. I took extra shifts, read late at night, and pushed myself to exhaustion. But my results didn't change much. Why? Because I was the same person on the inside, thinking small, doubting myself, operating out of fear instead of vision. Then one day, I realized something powerful: money doesn't make you rich, your mentality does. If I wanted to have more, I had to become more. If I wanted to attract abundance, I had to act like someone who deserved abundance, not by arrogance, but by alignment. Think about it, two people can do the same job, yet one earns 10 times more. It's not because they're 10 times smarter or luckier. It's because their mindset, habits, and identity have evolved to handle greater responsibility, greater discipline, greater opportunity. Wealth has a way of avoiding those who aren't prepared to manage it. It's not a punishment, it's a principle. Success has a personality, and it only trusts those who've built themselves into its kind of people. If you truly want wealth, stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "Who must I become? Who is the version of you that success would choose to partner with?" Maybe that person is disciplined, patient, and consistent. Maybe they read daily, plan ahead, and keep promises to themselves. Maybe they manage money wisely, speak with confidence, and lead with gratitude. Write down the traits of that version of you, because that's your blueprint. Then, start practicing those qualities daily. You don't need to wait for $1 million to start thinking like a millionaire. Speak and act as if you already are one, not to pretend, but to prepare. Wealth doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who grow. The moment you step into that higher version of yourself, everything else begins to align. Because in the end, wealth is not a reward for hard labor. It's a reflection of inner transformation. The more valuable you become, the more value you attract. The market pays you not for effort, but for evolution. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because the person you become is the magnet that pulls everything else into your life, including the wealth you've been chasing. Freedom isn't something handed to you. It's something you earn through discipline. Most people confuse freedom with the absence of structure. They think being free means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But that's not freedom, that's chaos. True freedom is the result of self-management, the ability to direct your time, emotions, and money with purpose. Either you run the day or the day runs you. And for most people, the day is winning. You see, the world is full of distractions. 1,000 things fighting for your attention. Notifications, noise, demands, temptations. If you don't take charge of your time, someone else will. That's why I tell people, discipline is the foundation of freedom. It may sound like a paradox, but it's the truth. You don't get free by breaking rules. You get free by creating your own and living by them. When I started in business, I used to let the day push me around. I'd wake up without a plan, react to whatever came up, and wonder why I wasn't making progress. Then I learned the power of managing myself before managing anything else. I started scheduling my priorities instead of prioritizing my schedule. I stopped trusting my memory and started trusting my calendar. I learned that the most successful people don't work more hours. They work intentional hours. The same principle applies to money. Freedom doesn't come from earning more. It comes from managing what you earn. Too many people think, if I just made more, I'd be fine. But without boundaries, more money just means more mistakes. You must decide ahead of time where your dollars go. Savings first, investing second, spending last. The order matters. Every time you choose saving over spending, you're buying your future freedom. Emotional management is another key. You can't build a stable life with unstable emotions. The ability to stay calm under pressure, to think when others panic, is a wealth skill. Because wealth requires patience, and patience is emotional discipline in motion. And then there's focus, the most valuable currency in the modern world. What you focus on multiplies. If you spend your time focused on distractions, your distractions will grow. If you spend your time focused on growth, your opportunities will grow. You can't have both. That's why guarding your attention is not optional, it's essential. Freedom isn't found in escape, it's found in control. When you learn to manage yourself, your time, your money, your emotions, your attention, you earn the right to live life on your terms. Because freedom doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the disciplined. The moment you take control of yourself, you take control of your destiny. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money, but money is a poor target. It runs faster than you do. The more you chase it, the more it escapes. You see, money doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who deserve it. And you deserve it when you become excellent at something valuable. The marketplace rewards mastery, not motion. You can be busy all day and still be broke if what you're doing doesn't create exceptional value. When I was young, I used to think that the people who made big money were just lucky, or they had connections, or they started with more. But I learned that's not the case. The marketplace doesn't care where you started. It only cares about what you can deliver. The more valuable you become, the more valuable your paycheck becomes. So the real question is not, how do I make more money? The question is, how do I become more skilled, more insightful, more indispensable? That's why I tell people, don't chase money, chase mastery. Study your craft like it's your life's mission. If you're in sales, don't just sell. Master communication, persuasion, empathy. If you're in business, don't just trade products. Study people, systems, and psychology. Whatever your work is, make it art. Because once you master something, the market has no choice but to pay attention. Money is the applause for excellence. I remember when I first started learning about success, my mentor told me, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. At first, that didn't make sense. I thought, how does working on me increase my income? But then I realized, the better I became, the more opportunities came to me. The market is always looking for the best. And when you commit to mastery, you separate yourself from the average. The average stops learning, the excellent never does. So, take your earnings and reinvest them in your growth. Go to seminars, read books, take courses, find mentors. Don't spend your profits on things that lose value. Spend them on things that expand your value. Every dollar invested in yourself multiplies over time. And treat every job, every project, every task as a stepping stone to the next level of mastery. Don't wait until you get your dream job to do your best. Do your best now where you are. Excellence is a habit, not a position. The way you do small things determines how you'll handle big things, remember? The marketplace doesn't pay for potential, it pays for results. And results come from mastery. So, don't chase the money, it's just a reflection. Chase becoming the kind of person who creates such immense value that money can't help but find you. Because once you master your craft, wealth stops being a chase, it becomes a consequence. There's something dangerous about success without purpose. You see, it's possible to climb the ladder of success, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Growth for its own sake. More money, more recognition, more possessions can leave you empty once you get there. Because what good is all the success in the world if, at the end of the day, you look in the mirror and realize you've gained the world but lost yourself? Growth without purpose is just motion without meaning. I remember meeting a man once who had everything that most people dream of: cars, homes, luxury, status. But as we talked, I could see in his eyes that something was missing. He said, "I've got everything I ever wanted, but I don't feel fulfilled." That conversation stayed with me. It taught me that success without significance is hollow. The true reward of success isn't what you get. It's who you become and what you give back. When you grow with purpose, everything changes. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "Who can I help?" You see, life has a strange way of rewarding those who give. The more you share, the more you receive. When you teach what you've learned, you multiply your wisdom. When you lift others, you lift yourself. That's how legacy is built. Not from accumulation, but from contribution. It's why I tell people, when you become a millionaire, it's not for the money. It's for the person you have to become. The discipline, the patience, the vision, the character. Those are the real rewards. Money will come and go, but the person you become in the process, that's permanent wealth. The money can buy comfort, but only purpose can give you peace. So, make your growth meaningful. As you rise, bring someone with you. Teach what you've learned. Share your lessons, not your excuses. The world doesn't just need more wealthy people. It needs more wise people, more generous people, more leaders who understand that prosperity is not a possession. It's a platform to serve others. I remember when I started sharing what I had learned about personal development and success. At first, it wasn't for money. It was simply to help people. But as I gave, something incredible happened. My own growth accelerated. My opportunities expanded. My influence multiplied. Why? Because life rewards contribution. The more you pour out, the more life pours back in. So don't just grow your bank account, grow your impact. Don't just chase success, chase significance. When your success helps others succeed, you've tapped into something eternal. Because wealth without purpose fades, but purpose-driven wealth creates ripples long after you're gone. Remember, the goal is not to be the richest person in the room. It's to be the one who made the room richer because you were in it.